Welcome back to the Caregiver Minute, where every weekday family and professional caregivers gather to refine their skills, gain inspiration, and prepare to serve. Could it be possible that you're saying too much or too little to the people that you're serving? Maybe it's possible that you're so focused on communicating with words that you're not thinking about all the other ways we communicate. Did you know that only about 8% of human communication is the words we use, and about 92% is everything else? It's indirect. It's the pitch level. It's the tone of our voice. It's the type of words that we use. It's the speed that we say them. It's our nonverbal gesturing. All of those things communicate a great deal. And sometimes we might be saying too much, and it's not even with the words that we're using. Other times we might be saying too little, meaning we're not using those nonverbal skills effectively enough. Sometimes when we're interacting with someone and they don't seem to be understanding what we're saying, for one reason or another, we tend to just do a lot more talking. This is true even if someone doesn't have dementia. Interacting with other human beings is just difficult, and it's common that the other person will clearly not be understanding what we're trying to say. Maybe they start to get upset with us. Maybe they seem irritated. Maybe it's clear when they restate things that they're just not getting it. And the tendency for us is to just say more, throw more words at the problem. Very often what we need to do is to say fewer words. We need to listen more. We need to get the other person talking and processing so that we can really understand where they're coming from. I've pointed out before here on the Caregiver Minute that the most active thing that we can do in human interaction is to listen. And really intense listening means paying attention to all the stuff that goes even beyond the words. Sometimes if we want to get further, we just need to sit back and say less. Now that is especially true when we're serving someone with dementia who may only understand 50 to 70% of the words they're hearing. Several years ago, I was consulting at a skilled nursing facility, and they had a woman there who yelled regularly. She yelled frequently in the midst of most of the care that they were trying to provide for her. Whether it was getting into the shower or trying to trim her nails and paint and polish them, she would yell. And often she just screamed, "Shut up, shut up." Well, I was doing consulting in this facility, and I did a staff training on communication techniques. And we talked about the fact that so many people only understand 50 to 70% of the words they're hearing. That means that our nonverbal communication needs to be our go-to strategy. We need to say less in the way of words and more in what we do nonverbally. Well, an activity assistant named Erica really took that idea to heart. And she noticed in an interaction with this woman that the lady was starting to yell at her and just say, "Shut up." And so Erica excused herself. What she wanted to do was help this woman get her nails trimmed and polished, and to do that as part of an activity they were offering. And she reapproached and did things differently. She walked up, she called the woman by name, she got down below eye level where the woman could see her, and Erica just smiled. She held up her own fingernails, which were painted kind of a flashy purple color, and she pointed at them, and then she held up a bottle of nail polish, and she pointed at the woman's nails. Much to her surprise, that woman put her hand out in front of her, and Erica was able to start assisting her. Now, there was some real back and forth through the process. Erica had to step back a little bit at times when the woman would get agitated and kind of repeat what she did to start the interaction, showing her own nails, showing her the nail polish, helping the woman know what it was that they were doing. But the long story short is they were able to get through that interaction and have the woman's nails trimmed and filed and polished and put a clear coat on and all the stuff that Erica wanted to assist her with. Erica then took that experience and went and talked about it in a staff meeting so that others could understand that this poor resident did not understand words very well. And if they would just leverage nonverbal communication, they would get further with her. It would be less irritating to this woman. By the time I came back to consult again a month later, they hadn't had any incident reports. This woman was doing so much better It was remarkable what that shift in communication accomplished. So today, whether you're interacting with someone living with dementia, or your spouse, or one of your children, or someone in the workplace, I invite you to consider whether you might be saying too much or too little. And how does that apply to your words and to everything outside the words? Sometimes we need to use fewer words and more nonverbal communication. Sometimes we might need to explain things a little bit more. Other times we need to pull back and really listen as intently as possible to understand what the other person is getting from it and how we can be helpful to them. I hope that makes a difference for you and the people that you serve, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another episode of the Caregiver Minute.